My purpose in these podcasts is to help you to make perfect contact with the universal consciousness, the source of your being. Because when you do make contact, seemingly miraculous miracles happen in your life. And this all comes from getting into proper alignment. And I cannot say it enough times. It's happening constantly, moment by moment, that we are emitting a vibration, and it's either low or high or medium high, medium low, whatever it happens to be. Constantly. But here's what affects it. So if you have unresolved trauma from the past, then you are carrying within your body, within your being, the energetic system that underlies your entire body. You are carrying that past trauma in your body. You know that book, like The Body Keeps the Score, or whatever it happens to be? This is what I'm talking about. So I'll give you an example. I was working with somebody today, and we do these quick transformations. These things happen so rapidly. They happen so rapidly. It's like, oh, I got this block. We don't gotta beat it over the, we don't got to beat the bush for 7 months. No, we're going to just do a couple sessions. It might only be one. We're going to get in there. We're going to do the hard work, and we're going to heal and resolve a whole pile of things. But what we're actually doing is we're just dealing with the underlying issue, the beliefs underneath everything. So if you have past trauma, here's the deal. You might think you're past it, right? And the person that I worked with this morning thought that, I thought I was long past this, but it came up, and I always work with numbers. So I ask, what percent of this are you still carrying within you? And there was a whole pile of things that came from one incident in childhood, and this is how it goes every single time. That there will be a whole pile of beliefs or a whole pile of things, like now all of a sudden I'm not good enough. Well, now I have a fear of failure. Now I have a fear of this. Now I don't feel safe. Now I don't feel loved. Now I don't feel good enough or important or worthy or confident or whatever it happens to be. They come from some incident. And because we're living our life, we're just living it, right? We're not thinking about these things. We're just feeling what we're feeling, and we're being who we are. We don't even know that this isn't us. That this stuff that we're carrying in us isn't us. It's not part of our soul. It's not part of it's something that happened, and it's a belief that we had, and now we're carrying this heaviness in our energetic system. So if somebody's carrying between 50 and 75% of some traumatic beliefs that happened to them when they were a little child, well, that's a whole lot of heaviness that they're carrying within their energetic system that is underlying the body. So what happens when this happens? Think about this. If you were really light and you didn't have any of that past trauma being carried within your system, meaning there was no resentments, you've forgiven people, you've learned the lessons from the past, and you can truly and honestly look back on your complete and total past and be so super thankful for every single person, for every single incident, for every trial and tribulation that you went through, or that you got put through, or that happened to you. When you can look back on that, and you can look at this and just look at it with love, and all of it's just love because it got you to where you are, then you are carrying none of that heaviness in your system anymore. And when you're not carrying it in your system, okay, you're going to be filled with joy, laughter, happiness. You're going to love your life, man. I'm telling you. That's where I'm at. I love my life. I love my life. And recently, since I let go of somebody who was not in alignment with me, when I'm giving and I'm not receiving back, eventually, it drains a person. But this was a very, very valuable lesson that I learned, and I needed it. I needed it so that I could learn for the first time truly how valuable I am. Some people could look at a situation like that and have somebody else's actions determine their worth and their value, and be like, well, I guess I'm not worth nothing, because this happened with this person and they did this, And so I must not matter, must not be valuable. Or you can look at it and you can get value from yourself, and you can realize that something that is not bringing value to you is not valuable. That's what's not valuable. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with that thing. Whatever that was that you're hoping to get something out of, well, you can squeeze a rock all day long and you're not going to get lemonade out of it, right? And if it was lemonade that you wanted, well, you better get rid of that rock and go get the lemonade. That's what I'm saying. So when something's not valuing you, it has nothing to do with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it has everything to do with the fact that that's not a valuable thing then, I guess. And it's looking at it in the opposite way and realizing that when you let things go that aren't valuable to you. So if you are stuck in a career and you don't love it, and every day that you go to work you are like, I am not doing the thing. I'm not doing the thing. There's no passion here. There's no nothing here. And you are just kind of praying, in the back of your mind that someday maybe you would just get let go so that you don't got to keep going in. But at the same time, you're like, but I need the income from it. And so, you don't really want that. But, there's just something not there. That's what I'm talking about. And we can keep looking at that same thing and we can be like, no, I'm going to find the value in it here and I'm going to make it be that thing. You can't make something be the thing when it's not the thing. Not going to happen. But what you can do is you can let it go. And as soon as you let it go, you then you make space, you make room. And I'm telling you, this is real. This is a real thing. That you only get so much energy every day. You only get so much. And so when you're giving it to this and to this and to this, being a single woman, I get asked out quite a bit. And so if I'm going to go out on a date, well, I got to think about this for a second. Am I going to go out? Okay, right, I'll go out. But then after the fact, is this truly something I want to invest in? And if it's not, I'm not wasting my energy. So I want to go out and I want to have fun and I can go and do that. But as soon as I recognize this ain't the thing, then it's done with and then it's gone. But sometimes we want something to be the thing and it's not the thing. And that thing is telling us it's not the thing. It's literally telling us it's not the thing. And we're like, but it's the thing. And it's not. And when this happens, this is just a lesson for us, right? To get us where we need to be. And some people could go out, they could quit their job tomorrow and go and start that thing that they want to do, but why are they not doing it? Because they have a fear of failure. Why? Because of some trauma that happened in the past where they perceive themselves as a failure. But I'm telling you this right now, look at this from a different perspective. If the thing that you tried however long ago would have worked out, would you even still have passion for that thing? No, you wouldn't. Because you change your mind, you're a totally different person. The reason why it didn't work out was because that wasn't the thing. And you have to let that go and let the past go so that you can make room for when the thing that you really want shows up. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't got the space, if you don't got the energy for it, it simply can't come in. It just simply cannot come in. It will not even present itself to you if you don't have the space, the energy for it. So when you clean house and get rid of all the things you don't want. So let's talk about this job. Okay, you need to get a new one, right? Because you don't love it. There's no passion there. You're doing it because it pays you and whatever. Maybe you're passionate about the money. Then maybe that's the play. Maybe that's the thing for you. But I'm talking to those people who know that you are not doing the thing. First of all, let's look at this differently. If you do currently have a job, I want you to think about what it is that you get to do in your day. You have the opportunity all day long to put love into the work that you're doing right now, because this is how you get there. It's by doing the thing right now that gets you to where you want to be. There's no way around it. Like I said, we are emitting a frequency. We are manifesting that frequency constantly every single second. And so if your manifestation, if your frequency that you are emitting constantly every single second is low because you're like, man, I don't want to be here, this ain't the thing, what it feel like, how that feels, not good, that is what you're manifesting. So it's not only going to affect that area of your life, it will affect every area of your life. And based on your beliefs, you can search and you can look at all your beliefs. You will have some beliefs there that are keeping you back, that are keeping you stuck, that they are the reason why that thing's not happening for you, why you can't get what you want. When you let go of everything that isn't it, then you make room for the it. But if you don't have the space for it, the it's not going to come, and you're going to say, why is it not coming? Every day I do this and this and this, and I'm just hoping for this to walk through my door and happen to me. But it's not going to happen to you if you don't have the space for it. So here's the deal. I want you to think about your friend group that you have right now. How do they make you feel? Is there somebody that pops into your mind that you're like, ooh, you know what, I'm not sure I trust this person. You know what, I don't know, is there somebody? Let them go. Let them go. Let them go let them go yesterday. Let them go 17 hours ago. Let them go then. They're gone. Get them gone. Why? Because your intuition is telling you something. So listen to it. And so when your intuition tells you something like, hey, this person, I don't think you can trust them. Well, it's because you can't trust them. So why would you want to have a friend in your life that you can't trust? I wouldn't. I don't. That's not for me, man. Nope. Okay, how do your friends make you feel? Do you feel like you're included? Do you feel like you're thought of? Do you feel like you're included? Do you? I hope you do. And if not, let them go and make room for people that want to love you, because you are freaking lovable, man. But if you don't let anybody near you, that's on you. That's your thing. But if you can let people in and select. I used to be friends with everybody, and I could carry on I could talk to anybody. I could get along. But does that mean that I want to have certain people, have everybody in my life? I don't got time for that. I don't got the energy for that. That's something I did when I was 20. That's not me. That's not me anymore, right? And it's probably not you either. But you have a select group of people. And if you have already selected the perfect group of people, excellent, good job, because at one point you didn't, right? So look at the growth that you got there. But if you're in the process of that, if you haven't done that yet, there's growth that will come. And I'm telling you, it's scary, I know, to let go of people and be like, am I doing the right thing? I don't really know. It's scary. But your intuition has been telling you for quite some time that there's something, and this might be about your work, it might not be people. It's been telling you for quite some time that there's something that you need to let go of. There's something that's not bringing you satisfaction. There's something that's not fulfilling you anymore, right? But yet, it's comfortable, right? We're uncomfortably comfortable, and so we stay in that comfortable state and just hoping. Just hoping that things tomorrow, one day will change, or something will change. And the only person that can do that is you, because the only person who makes decisions for you is you. And if you allow other people to make decisions for you, you should stop that, because it's your life, and it's only your life. It's just yours. So as you make decisions and you choose things, you make choices in your life day after day, you need to make decisions that are in alignment. And if that means that you need to let it go, then you need to let it go yesterday, 17 hours ago, like we talked about. So I've been telling a lot of my friends here this lately, because I don't know, anything that happens to me, it happens to the people around me too. So I say to the people, saying, I let something go, and within 3 hours I had the most massive confirmation that I absolutely did the right thing. And hearing crap talk and all of there could not have been more confirmation that I did the right thing within 3 hours. So what do I tell my friend? I tell my friend, you got to let this thing go. And this person's been wanting to let something go for 15 years. What do? They let it go. Well, what happens? The fear that was there of, I've been holding on to it because of this, was resolved immediately. Okay, well, this is my only issue. This is the only reason that I was holding on to this thing was because of this thing, and I keep holding on to it because of this one particular thing. Well, it was just a decision of, you know what? It'll work itself out. They let it go, and it worked itself out like that, because that's how it happens. That's how it happens, because now they got the extra energy to allow that goodness to be replaced. You're never going to go without. You're never going to go without. And if you're going without, it is because you have a belief. It's because you have something blocked. It's because you have some unhealed trauma from the past. And you're carrying it like that heaviness in your energetic system. And it's keeping a low frequency. So you're manifesting just like everybody else. You're manifesting the same as me, same as them over there. Exactly the same. But if your frequency is low, you're going to get back low stuff. What is it that you repeat to yourself all the time? What do you tell yourself all the time? This doesn't work out for me. Oh, it's so stressful. Oh, this person stresses me out. Why are you allowing it? If you got employees that are doing things, get them gone. Get them gone. Why? One negative person, and God loves them all. The divine loves them all. One negative person decreases work productivity by 40% in the entire group. So if you think that you're doing somebody some kind of favors by keeping around, by being, whatever I'm saying, you know what I mean? If you think you're doing them favors, you're not. Because you have a conversation. Let me tell you this. This is so important. If you are talking to somebody and they are negative, notice what happens to that vibration that you were just emitting prior. And then notice what happens while it's happening. And guess what? You're manifesting at that exact same frequency as them while you're in that conversation. So is everybody else that's talking to them. Do you want that? So if somebody sucks at manifesting, or that they got chaos, they got destruction, they got negative things happening all the time, what is that conversation like that you have with them? It drags you down. It's a low frequency. I 100% guarantee you that. Right? It's a low frequency. And they're manifesting while they're speaking about it, while they're thinking about it, while you're thinking about it, while they're speaking about it. You're manifesting at that level. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Why would you want to take that on? I would never want to take that on. Not happening. Not happening. Note to self. We're not doing this again. You know what I mean? So next time something like that comes up, what are you going to do about it? I want you to recognize that you're manifesting at that frequency. And I also want you to recognize that a higher frequency is more truthful. It will eventually come across, and people can be blind to the truth for a long time. They could be blind to it for their whole life if they chose to be. But eventually the truth comes out. Why? Because it's actually a different frequency. And energy doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. The frequencies don't lie. The proof is in the pudding. You can't lie about the energy because people can feel it. They know. So when we are in a conversation with somebody and they're putting out a low frequency, you have now, if you're tuned into the conversation, which thankful for most of us humans, we're not really in a conversation when we're in it, are we? No. We're in outer space somewhere and we're pretending to listen. It depends on the situation. But that's what I do when I'm in a situation like that. If I go in a situation and this happened when I was out at a friend's the other day, and they had a friend come over, and oh man, I couldn't even. And so, of course, I'm going to be nice and kind and polite, and I'm going to be quiet when the other person's talking, but that doesn't mean that I'm listening. Doesn't mean I'm listening, no. I'm having a wonderful high vibe conversation in my head while this person is talking and saying all their negative things, because that is not happening for me. I'm not allowing that. That's a huge boundary for me. You're not dragging me down there. Energy drainers, not allowed in my life. Not happening. Not allowed. And as we let go of these things, so if you have somebody in mind, is there somebody in mind and they keep coming to you and you're like, well, I'm related to them. What am I supposed to do? Because this is always the thing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Here's what you do. You have an open and honest conversation with that person, because the truth reigns free every time, eventually. And as you have this conversation with them, and you could send them this, whatever, as you let them know, hey man, I really care about you. And I honestly believe that the more that you're talking about this negative stuff and the more that you focus on it, because I'm witnessing this, the complaining and the criticism and the how everything's always got to be and it's always this negative thing, as I'm seeing this in you, I'm seeing patterns and I'm noticing that these things keep happening in your life. And I love you so much, I don't want to contribute to that at all. So when we talk, when we hang out, can we just only talk about positive things? Could we maybe even have like a code word that we say to each other if the conversation turns negative, that we can just say like scrambled eggs, and then we'll both stop, take a breath, recenter, change the conversation? Because if you are going there and you're hanging out with that person and you're feeling that way, like, man, I can't take this negative energy, blah, 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 but you're, nicey nice in it. Well, if you're having to do this constantly all the time, day after day, you're lying too. Right? You're lying because you're not okay with it and you're pretending like you're okay with it. So you're not being authentic. And something inside of you probably says, oh man, if I am authentic, if I'm a true self, what if they get mad at me? What if they don't like me? What if they don't talk to me? You know what, man? All I got to say about that is let them be them and let you be you. And your people will find you. You know what? I have wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friends. I could not say enough kind things about my friends. They are just wonderful, blessed human beings. And I love every single second that I'm talking to them, hanging out with them, FaceTiming them, being with them. Why? Because they accept me. They know everything. And they 100% accept it and love it. And you know what? We got the code words. We got the code words too. Because we know that we manifest what we talk about. So if we're about to rehash some story or some kind of something, and we just stop and think, you know what, man, I don't want that to happen again, then we use the word. I'm not giving you my word because that's my word. But we use it and we say it, and then we just conversate. It's just duly noted. Yes, I love you. You love me. Things are good. It doesn't matter what the conversation is. Nobody was insulted. If the other person was to say that word, it's like, all right, we are both doing this because we want to be in that alignment, because we want to be in that high vibe all the time. And so we keep each other accountable in a good way. Do you have friends that do that for you? If you don't, maybe you need to let go of some of the people that you have so that you can manifest in good people like that, or you can manifest the people that you currently have in your life to turn into those people for you. Some people come into our life and they come to teach us lessons, hard lessons, painful lessons. Some people come in and they teach us easy lessons. Some people just come in and they come into our life one day and it's a stranger in the store and they say something to you and they made you think differently, and they came in and they changed your life and they didn't even know it, and you don't even know them, and you probably never ever seen them again. You know what I mean? Everybody comes into your life for a different reason. And so some people are forever people. And some people are for right now people. And some people are just the lesson people. So, are the people that you have the lesson people, or are they your forever people? And if they're just your lesson people, have you learned the lesson already? Did you learn the lesson that you really want good friends and that you don't want to put up with this kind of stuff? Okay, well, if you learned the lesson, then it's time to let that lesson go. Let them be gone. You stop putting in the effort and you see what happens. Just see how valued you are. And now everybody goes through different times, everybody goes through different tribulations, and if you've been friends with somebody for a long, long time and years go by, there is so many different life cycles that go on that it might be, months between talking to somebody. Then you go and you're talking to them constantly. Then there's a big break again. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that if you've been the one putting in the effort for the last, however long, well, that might flip around. You know what I'm saying? What are they going through? What's the reason? If there's no reason, then you need to talk about it. Have the conversation. Hey, I'm not feeling valued in this friendship. And then determine, if you can't have those open and honest conversations between you, why are you friends with these people in the first place? If there's a feeling of fear of being rejected by them, well, they're not your people. They're not your people, man. Because that fear is not going to be there when it's really your people. They're going to accept you unconditionally, and you are them too. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to go through things or that life's not going to happen or whatnot, but you manifest your friendships on a subconscious level. And if you don't have good friends, you can manifest them, but you might have to let go of other people. And if you're like, but I don't have any people, well, why is that? What decisions, what choices have you made that have led you to being the antisocial or independent being or whatever, what have you? What has led to that? And is that something that you have the time and energy for? Is that something that you want? Because if you don't make space for it, you're going to be a pretty crappy friend. Right? It's like, oh, I want a friend so bad. But if you don't got the space or the energy for it, you're going to make a crap friend. So maybe there's something you need to let go of. You're like, I want a friend, but I do this and I play this and I do. If you don't got the energy and you don't got the space, that's it. End of story. You don't got the energy and you don't got the space. So you might have to let go of something so that you can make room for something that you do want. But you make sure that that thing values you as much as you value it. You know, I obviously, as a hypnotist, sometimes I end up working with people doing smoking cessation, and that's one thing. You know, that's one relationship, addictions, where it's completely one-sided, right? You have the need, you want that thing, you want that from that cigarette or from that alcohol or from whatever it is. You need it, you want that thing, but it's totally one-sided, and you just take and you 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 take. But it's not actually giving you anything of value. You know, whether it's alcohol or cigarettes or whatever it is, it's actually devaluing your physical body by consuming it, by taking it in. There's actually zero benefit. Now you might say, oh, but I love drinking. I get the benefit because I feel like this for however long or what. You know what? Life is about enjoyment. And it is about fun. But when there's something that you've been engaging in that you are considering is a problem, right? Like smoking cigarettes or drinking too much, when you believe that it's a problem for a reason, right? You didn't just come up with that. You didn't just think it up one day, oh, I should quit this. No, you thought you should quit it because it's a problem. And I want you to know that that thing you love so much, those cigarettes or that alcohol or whatever it is, it doesn't love you back. And it's never going to. And all the love that you're giving it your time. Oh, you're giving it so much of your time. And as you're giving it that love of your time, you know what it's doing on the other end? It's taking it away. Saying, oh, you're giving me time now? Well, guess what? Not only are you giving me time now, I'm going to give you even less time at the end of your life. So it's a double devaluing. Why would you want to engage in that? There's obviously a feeling of not worthiness that's present if you're engaging in this type of behavior. And you know that you're a powerful person. You know that you've accomplished and achieved all kinds of things, the things other people haven't. You've accomplished and achieved all kinds of things. So if there's some area of your life that you're not feeling satisfied in, the only reason why is because you haven't done the work in that area, and it's the subconscious work. And so when you go in and you heal all those things in the past and you actually get them out of your energetic system, you're no longer carrying them in your energy system, you are then light-bodied. You then don't have addictions. You then don't have these same issues that you had before. Why? Because you're living in the truth, and the truth has cost you freedom. And when you're living in that freedom, you're living in the truth. It goes both ways. Now here's the truth of the thing. If you don't hear anything else, hear this. The truth is that you are loved so deeply by the divine creator being, which is really just the consciousness of purposeful love. You are loved so beyond measure, and it is detrimental to your life and to your well-being to not believe in that goodness that is there in that divine love, because it's pure and it's perfect love, and it accepts you unconditionally, and it wants you to be in alignment with it through every thought that you have. And when you get into alignment with every thought that you have, the world becomes such a beautiful place, and you literally create heaven on earth. We're creating an era of peace and love, and it's our ever-living thought that is a transforming influence on this planet. We're creating heaven here on earth through our every loving thought. I can do this just for myself. I'm doing it. It's happening. It's happening. I'm in it, and it's wonderful. Here's the deal. It's about the collective. It's the collective consciousness. This is about the evolution. So what happens? I'm doing it, you're doing it, they're doing it. Pretty soon, everybody's doing it. And what are we doing? We're living in heaven on earth. And this lasts for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. This is the shift. It's happening. It's the evolution of consciousness. I do believe it's because we have technology that we're able to do this, because it can travel so much faster. Our messages, the words, the divine spoken word can travel so much faster, like lightning through the sky. And this creates that consciousness evolution shift, and we create heaven right here on earth. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, I love you all so very much, my darlings. And I'm so thankful that you tuned in. Now, I know if you've been going through something and you've been trying to manifest something, I know it's sucky. So I just want to remind you about those conversations that you have with people, and that it is literally every single second that you're manifesting. You might say, oh, this is exhausting, I'm too tired. No, no, no. The more that you let go of stuff, the lighter you feel, the more energy you have, the easier it is. Doing the work in the first place, yeah, you got to do the work of healing those subconscious hurts, those wounds that you've got inside of you. But once you've done that, once you put in the work, oh, it's smooth sailing, you're free. You're just totally free. Anyways, I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one, my dears.